Anti-Afro Svengali. Let me tell you the connection here. Look on the screen. Look at these screenshots. Yeah, I told you I was going to finally cover this. This is what Chad T thinks about the NPW and their situation. Let's read it together in case you're not able to look at the screen. Okay, the first message says Nikki got a sorry ass husband. She out here walking. The second message, Nikki calling Shaquin to borrow money. Where your husband at? Number 3, I'd be damned if my wife calling you on niggas for money or anyone. I don't think Chad T is being very understanding. I think Chad T should give NPW a break. He should give her husband a break. Because as we know, NPW was solid. She came up with a plan. You don't say NPW is without a car. You're selling her short. Because remember, she's solid. She knows what to do. NPW came up with a very viable alternative. I want to know what you think about it. Stay tuned, and I will return. If this is not going to make your day, I don't know what would. Jeez, you see this chick? Okay, I'm going to get serious. As I told you all, I was going to make sure I wasn't going to be answering to all these outrageous lies that come up from every direction possible. Up, down, forward, backwards. You name it, there is a new lie told virtually every day about me, about AFW, about Gerald, about anything to keep madness going. Well, I decided I am going to address a couple of things, but I want to first give you some perspective to set this up. There was a content creator that gave her feedback about her perception regarding NPW. I want you to hear what Tiff P had to say. Stay tuned and I will return.
But I appreciate KKC and Dr. Nikki camming up. And I think she gave us a lot of her. She gave us more of her. I thought for those of us who only experience her virtually or, only experience, she gave us much, much more of her authentic self. So I appreciate her doing that. The ad hominem attacks regarding one's looks or whatever when they came up, I'm not really feeling that, but I get it. It's the internet. Number 3, I was trying to, make sense of why she carries herself or behaves the way she does or treats people the way she does or talks to people the way she do online. But the only general, conclusion that I could come to is she's just nasty. And, she's probably nasty as fuck in real life. And that's her prerogative. That's her right. That doesn't mean that she's a bad person. It doesn't mean that she doesn't treat people well. It doesn't mean that she's not good to her friends and her loved ones. It's just the way I perceive her online is that she, generally speaking, has a very nasty underlying disposition. And yeah, and also she's extremely angry. She's very mad. Yeah, and she expressed that she's very mad at anti-Afro Svengali. I don't want to say she's very mad at Gerald Palmer. I got more so that she's very upset with anti-Afro Svengali. And it seems like, I don't know. I was gonna say it doesn't seem like she quite knows how to manage that situation or handle it or get. But I'm not I can't say that. I can't say that because I don't know that to be true.
For some reason, this person, NPW, thinks I need to be concerned about her being mad at me? Am I supposed to be trying to figure out what I did to this person? Fix it? Be fearful of her threats of homicide? You all heard that interview. It's the same old crap she's been doing for a year, directed towards me unprovoked. Let me detour. No, it's not a detour. It's actually relevant. I have never, ever heard of men and women who claim to be heterosexual. They advertise it. You're not asking them, are you heterosexual? Are you gay? Are you transgender? You don't ask. These people are volunteering their sexual orientation. They're telling people, spreading it around. But for some odd reason, they are obsessed about same sex sexual behaviors to the point they have to mention them in graphic detail. More specifically, when they're in an argument or a dispute, or they don't agree with someone, or they don't like someone. This is what NPW has been doing for more than a year. Constantly using the word pussy, claiming that I'm after her and I want her. I mean, I can think of a million and one things to say if I have a disagreement with a woman, and none of them would involve any sexual language. Now, there's a person who's running around these YouTube streets, one of NPW's flunkies, who continuously brought my name up while all this stuff was being brought out on all other revelations of NPW being a total complete fraud, which I already knew anyway. I think the details tended to be shocking rather than the fact that she actually is a fraud. At any rate, this person continued mentioning my name, and I ignored this person because I knew what they were trying to do: shift the focus away from NPW on the fact that I'm making videos, and I said very little about the situation. But this person is placing it in chats, and I'm talking about her cat, that I'm after her sexually. This person is simply trying to lick her wounds after having made a complete and total fool of herself for having brought up and continue to use the very graphic, vulgar, uncouth, representing the home training is in the toilet when it came to what she wanted to do to Photon. I didn't supply her with this language, never told her what to say, and even threw in $500. She's running around here calling breaking the culture of silence a prostitute. Honey, you're the one that showed you were putting up money. You were putting up money willingly, eager, stating it out of your own mouth that you wanted to F Photon. So she's unable to handle that shame associated with her conduct, and how many people pointed that out, and I was one of them. You don't have a single solitary clip that is implicating where I stood up and used that language to you and referenced you. I referenced your conduct. I commented on your conduct. So don't even try to think that we're in the same category. Honey, we were built in two separate factories. We were cut from two different cloths in factories that were a million miles apart. These subjects, these females, if you don't want to be judged for your uncouth, tacky, uncivilized behavior, you might want to consider changing your conduct. Trying to transpose your behavior onto someone else, onto me, onto other people who have not engaged in that conduct simply will not work. It doesn't matter. You're the one on record making all of these statements voluntarily on your own. Again, I'm simply referencing what a horrific standard when it comes to supposedly being a teacher. You don't have anything. You can continue to try to pretend that you do. You simply don't. So when people don't have anything on you, they start making up lies on you. You can make up any lie you want to, it never will fly. Just like all these other subjects around here, just like Catherine Brown, the lies will not work. Your language has been captured. A year worth of your vulgar, disgusting, uncouth, potty mouth language. You don't have anything remotely similar to your conduct. So you can continue telling your lies, Believe your own lies. Believe that you really think you are an upstanding, respectable person. You're simply underbelly. The worst of the worst. It doesn't matter if you got a freaking degree. Amy Bishop had a degree and killed her brother and killed 3 professors and injured 3 or 4 more. Who gives a damn about a degree? And you're showing yourself as an example. A degree doesn't mean a damn thing. Your behavior and your value system, that's what matters. What I wanted to make sure I emphasized is that the graphic sex, and this person is included, and I'm talking about NPW's flunky, the graphic sexual language that's so far out of left field is always integrated in some way with violence. NPW is up here talking about threats of homicide, drop your coordinates, she's going to be kicking your ass and all. This is supposed to be a college administrator who continues to lie about being a professor. You are not a professor, NPW. Quit lying. You did not make the grade. You didn't make the grade, so you want to come on YouTube and lie and say that you did. You're not a professor, you're a part-time instructor. The only time NPW's name appeared as an associate professor was when she wrote it up in a bio when she was going to do some project or activity or mini conference at another university. Your university doesn't know that you wrote that you're an associate professor. An associate professor represents that you have published peer-reviewed journal articles, postdoctorate degree, and you don't have any. If you do, you would have shared those with us a long time ago. You didn't make the grade, but you want to hijack the title, you want to make believe, and you were totally and completely exposed. That is not my fault. That is your fault. You're the one that concocted the lies. If you didn't concoct the lies, they can't be uncovered. They can't be unraveled. That's how it works. If you don't lie, they can't assign a lie to you. And if they do, it's not going to stick. But your lies have been uncovered and they've been verified as just that 100 bald faced, unadulterated lying, which equates with fraud. You are a fraud. A to Z, pure and simple, no question about it. I'm also going to pick a bone with everybody out there who it applies to. When did it become a sin for any person to experience a hardship to the point where they were either offered money, they requested money, they needed money, and maybe they didn't ask? What is wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. Is anybody out there able to say they have never been in a situation where they were strapped for cash and they had to go to someone else or went to someone else to get help? That is not the issue. The issue is perpetrating as if you were someone or you have a status that you don't have. And that is the issue with NPW, and her cover was blown. It's not my fault her cover was blown. It's not Gerald's fault her cover was blown. I don't even want to say it's the fault of those that she trusted. It is what it is. The situation evolved the way it did. It was always going to be told. How are you going to go around in a relatively small space getting money from different people, then putting it back up, acting like you got it like that? It was going to be revealed one way or another. What caused it to be revealed? The behavior itself. If she had not engaged in this conduct, it would never have occurred. Now, am I saying it was cool that people are spreading her business all over the street? No, I wouldn't say it's cool, but they can't spread something that's not happening. If NPW didn't perpetrate a fraud, there would be nothing to expose. This is the dual frustration that these demons have. They want to put me or Rev G or those who support us or innocent bystanders in a category that we don't fit in. They get increasingly frustrated when our conduct doesn't match up to what they're claiming that we're doing. Am I running around here perpetrating like I got all kinds of money? Dumpsy, he's telling people that I'm paying $300 to $500 a month to several people to do and say what I want. But this is the same person that says I don't have any money. I'm broke. I'm a bum. I have no money. I'm destitute. That I have run out of money. How am I going to run out of money? I never had any money. These are the lies that people like to spread. NPW is a part of that process. Now, what I want to point out, there is something that NPW said in that interview. Let me say this first about KKC, who did the interview with NPW. It's very difficult to consider him formidable, since his strongest weapons, the ones he seems to rely the most on, would be liquor in excess, cigarettes, weed, the mute button, and beelining for women while ignoring the growing number of brothers who have smoked for him. So each time he opens his mouth about me, he further dilutes his credibility. It was an epic fail. His attempt to what? Run Gerald and run me out of this entire YouTube neighborhood. Although we don't consider ourselves to be in the Umar Johnson sector, we're close by. We're in the vicinity. So he aims to come in and make demands and make statements and outrageous claims and bald-faced lies, and really deluded himself into thinking that people actually respected him on this side of the train tracks. What a rude awakening he got. So he's backtracking, refocusing his efforts, and it's kind of hard at this point to be angry at him because he actually gifted us with that interview with NPW. I mean, it's inconceivable that a person would place themselves in such a vulnerable position. Now, it has been said, although it's highly inaccurate, that I consider myself to be untouchable. I don't need to be untouchable. I'm not participating in any activity that is against any criminal law. I'm not engaging in any behavior legitimately actionable in a civil court. Again, filing a lawsuit doesn't mean anything. Anybody can file a lawsuit. A credible lawsuit that is likely to result in the plaintiff and me as a defendant prevailing. I'm also not violating any of YouTube's regulation. So if KKC can mark off green go, as in I'm complying with every single category I just mentioned, he wouldn't have anything to worry about. I beg to differ. So I wouldn't be so quick to think you're on a high horse. You are already humiliated and you make yourself look even worse. As you continue to try to drive at me, you look very ridiculous. You are a coward, and you're, quote, coming back with Poison / Remix. Cancel that out because you were sloshed to the gills. Step to a brother when you don't have liquor in your system. Quit trying to use women as a scapegoat because you don't have the guts or the balls or whatever to confront brothers. There's a whole list of them that a guy smoked for you, but you ain't got shit to say to them. There's a whole list of them that a guy smoked for you, but you ain't got shit to say to them. You are an ingrate, and nothing that you say or do is going to influence my behavior except for it's serving my interest. I'm never going to do anything in your best interest, such as back off. You are the one that put yourself in a very vulnerable position. You gifted us with that interview that NPW did. So we got to thank you to a large degree. But don't think that you can continue using my name, mentioning my name, and you are going to just sail around unfeathered, free, sailing off into a sunset. That is not going to happen. And that goes to the same for there's a person in your chat that for quite some time has been putting up these derogatory, misogynistic messages about me. He seems to be on the same level when it comes to consuming alcohol and running up to FDMG, making a fool of himself, drunk as a skunk. And for some reason, people keep trying to say this person is associated with us. We don't associate with people who have no semblance of control. That is you. That is people you associate with. These are the people that you're running around and hunting down, whose character has proven to be far below marginal. So let me move on to the situation with NPW. NPW made a statement that I had put audio recordings, sent audio recordings all over the university, which I don't know if she still works there or not, but she made the claim. So here's what I want to say. And also, she said I did it at a time when her dad passed away or was sick. So that would be 2022. Here are the only two possibilities that could exist with this claim. Either the university where NPW possibly still works told her a bald-faced lie that I had sent recordings, audio recordings all over campus. So that's one option. The second option is that NPW is just straight up lying. Either way it goes, it's problematic because number one, she would be implicating the university. Number two, she would be again implicating the university in a false claim, in a false statement, in a false declaration. It doesn't have to be under oath. She is making statements to the public that involve her university, and she's lying. That is extremely troubling. And it's not anything I would put past NPW, but this is something she should never put past me. You are not going to take my name and do whatever the hell you want with it. I am going to be pursuing these claims, formally pursuing these claims. There's only one way for me to address this. I'm going to be reaching out to this university and I will find out whether or not she is actually still working there. I'm also going to follow up on NPW's continuing sexual harassment. And any person, and I mean this, people, if you get offended, you get offended. This absolutely would go to KK, so you can shove it up your ass, literally shove it up your ass. I don't give a damn what you think about what I do with anything anybody says about me. You are the one that put NPW in this position. You helped reinforce. So now there is a repetitive process. Can you really comprehend this? This is not the first time NPW made this claim. And I waited. Actually, I think it's the third time she made this claim. Yes, this is correct. I have it on audio. She was on someone's live stream and then she posted it. Right? We have that copy. Okay. And now she's saying it in an interview. So when you have three separate times, she is implicating the university. Is the university aware of it? Obviously not, or else she wouldn't continue to do it. Well, I will take care of ensuring they are notified. This is what I find very interesting. Very few people are engaging in the conduct that NPW is engaging in. Very few people. Have you ever stopped to think that's the reason why they don't give a damn about your whining and crying? The same with KKC. Nobody gives a shit that you're whining and crying and complaining about who's talking to who's on whose page, who was saying what. You are a big fat crybaby. You whine. I can't believe you have the nerve to complain about Gerald Palmer. At least he was defending his family. Have you ever had to defend your actual family? Has anyone ever come for your family? The answer is no. So you can't be telling anybody what the hell to say, whether they should keep it on YouTube, whose page they should be on. And this is especially bizarre that he's so preoccupied with what I'm doing, with what Gerald is doing, and he claims not to give a shit about us. Show you don't give a shit. What you're doing is further entwining yourself in a situation that is fraught with peril. You're linking up to these people who have abomination in their character. That is to your detriment. That is to their detriment. But what you're not going to do is sit here and dictate any move that I make when it comes to protecting my reputation and my best interest. So, hell yes, I am going to take this shit off YouTube, and I will continue to take it off YouTube. And there's nothing that you can do about it. There's nothing that NPW can do about it. She's the person that got her ass wrapped up in this bullshit. I'm not protecting anybody. You are running my name in your nasty ass mouth and you're continuing to sexually harass me. I'm going to report you each and every time. I don't give a damn what you think. This shit's going to follow you everywhere. You have no self control, and that is going to be your problem. It is never going to be my problem. I will not grow tired of defending myself. I don't care how many names you call me. I don't care how loud you scream. I don't care how many lies you try to float about me. You will never shut me up based on your threats of violence, based on your sexual harassment, based on your claims to be in positions with the president of the university and claiming the president isn't going to care. Well, we're about to find out if that's true. See, this is a person that doesn't know when to leave well enough alone. She has been warned over the course of an entire year. You think I'm going to feel sorry for a person who can't keep her freaking mouth shut, and these idiots around here, there's only a few of them left, who are gassing this person up as if she's got some right to be upset after she started all this shit with everybody. That's just too damn bad. You are the person who engaged in this conduct that ended up getting your business all in the street. Just bank on it. YouTube is not a place where people should be able to come and just do and say whatever they want to people because they have whims, they have issues that don't relate to the person that they're targeting, and they want you to absorb all of their issues. They want you to be at their beck and call. They want you to follow their orders as if you don't have rights and you don't have an existence independent of them. I don't even know this person, never met this person, never spoke to this person, but she wants to be able to reign control over everything I say and do. Her anger, get angry. That's your problem. Your anger is your anger. I will not be subjected to your whims, to your hysteria, to your screaming, to your hollering, to your cursing, to your sexual harassment without responding. And responding is just what I'm going to do. It's of no consequence what your opinion is about things. This person doesn't care about anybody, has no semblance, has no recognition of any understanding of how her conduct not only impacts her, but impacts others. I'm going to be moving around based on what's in my best interest. I'm not tabling my interests for people that have zero concern for me, never have, never will. We will never be friends. I'm not putting your needs as a priority. What I will do, everyone, is be sure you remain updated. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.